So we want to get rid of thick, dirty blood. So the first part of the medical medium morning cleanse, right, is you get your lemon. Don't do it in hot water. You guys on TikTok, you guys on YouTube, don't do it in hot water. Yes, you can have a cup of hot tea and put lemon in it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to flush, if you want to liver flush, you guys can't kill the lemon. You can't put the lemon in scalding hot water and kill it so it doesn't flush your liver in the morning. So keep this in mind. This is a critical piece of information right there because you'll see it every day. I put my lemon in hot water in the morning because my Ayurvedic doctor said so. I put my lemon in hot water in the morning because my nutritionist said so. Now that's great. That's cute. That's great. But guess what? You just stopped flushing the liver. It has to be in lukewarm water, room temperature water, or cold water. It can't be in hot water. So that is so important to know all on its own, right? I'm going to tell you guys right now. So what you do is you take your cup right here and you get some water. You get your 16 to 32 ounces of water, right? You get your lemon right here and you squeeze your lemon into it just like this. I want to show you guys on TikTok. I want to show you guys on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. Check this out. Idolina says, can I use limes if I don't have lemons? Absolutely. And I'm going to get a lime right now. It's right here. So I got a lime. I want to give you a lime tip, you guys. Very important. If the lime is green, you can still use it, but it's not ripe. But you can still use it. You want the limes that have some color to them. The color changed. So that's a lime, tip right there. Okay? When you let the lime ripen or you find that lime that's more ripe, you'll get more juice out of it. So I'm going to squeeze a little lime in here. I know I mixed it, and if you want to mix it, you could too. But I'm just showing you with a little bit of lime in there as well. So the first thing is 16 to 32 ounces of lemon water or lime water first thing in the morning, and you start out your day. You start flushing the liver. That's your credit card right there. There it is. So what you can do is you can pay the bank by flushing that liver out. You're building your liver reserves back up right there. That's what you're doing. You're building it back up. Important to understand. You want to be able to flush your liver out every morning. If you guys take one thing from here, from the medical medium and the medical medium morning cleanse challenge, one thing. You guys are busy, you got a lot going on, you just take one thing. Do the lemon water, but 16 to 32 ounces, not 8 ounces, and not in hot water. You do 16 to 32 ounces on an empty stomach first thing in the morning before your coffee. And I'm not recommending you drink coffee. I wouldn't. But if you do, and that's what you're going to do, and I can't stop you, if you're going to have your coffee, if you're going to drink whatever, if you're going to have your tea, your black tea, if you're going to have your caffeine in the morning, do the lemon water before you poison yourself and your liver. Remember that. Do the lemon water, 16 to 32 ounces to flush out your liver before you shut your liver down with caffeine and adrenaline. Keep that in mind right there. Okay? And you can take, you can take the caffeine out in the morning. That's a troublemaker you can take out, which is really great. But keep that in mind. Flush the liver before you poison it. Really important. And I talk about that in the Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal book. So, I mean, look, I can't stop anybody from drinking their caffeine. And this isn't an anti-caffeine, talk today. But I'm saying the details are in here. If you are going to drink the coffee, which people do every single day, then do that coffee after you've flushed out that liver. Important. Tori Sue says, could I juice my lemons and freeze the juice in ice trays so as to store them up if you have to? Absolutely. Then put a cube in a glass to dissolve it in the AM. Yes, you can. Is it ideal? No, but it's still doable. That's doable. That's better than putting that lemon in the hot water. John Morris, hey, I don't think coffee is bad as long as you don't add a lot of sweetener, but I agree you should flush the liver first because the first thing you consume is what your body takes in the most of. Well, first of all, thanks for agreeing with that. Flushing the liver first is great. I'm glad you don't think coffee's not bad. You know, that's fine. I'm glad the caffeine companies taught you that. And I'm glad the caffeine propaganda and the caffeine industry taught you that too. The coffee's not bad. But I'm just going to tell you right now, okay, sure, John Morris, right? I respect what you say, of course, right? You're a guy, but women's health suffers from caffeine. Women's health suffers greatly from caffeine. I'm just going to let you know right now. Women have to birth children, and it takes adrenal strength to do that. A difficult birth can happen for women because they toast out their adrenals from all that caffeine. So that's one thing important. Another thing too, women are being thrown on these intermittent fasting diets, and they run on caffeine and adrenaline all day. And eventually, by the time they're 40, they're burnt out, they're fried, they can't think, they got brain fog, their adrenals are totally toasted. And what happens is they've also gone through maybe 1 or 2 really difficult births, and maybe have even had C-sections because of it. The adrenals get burnt and fried out. Pain tolerance goes, down really fast, and caffeine causes a lot of this. Another thing that happens with women too is their skin gets all choppy. They get all of the brown spots all over their face. That happens all over their skin. That's from caffeine. So, John, I get it. You think caffeine's fine. And as a guy, sure, you can drink the caffeine. But for women's health, it's actually terrible. The caffeine industry knows this behind the scenes. And their mantra is get pregnant women on caffeine so that their babies will be caffeine addicts when they're born, and get pregnant women on caffeine so their breast milk's filled with caffeine so their babies are caffeine addicts when they're breastfeeding. And what this does is it ensures the caffeine industry banks and banks and banks and banks and never stops banking. All right, enough on the caffeine talk as we go right here. Wait 15 to 30 minutes, you guys, and then we go into some celery juice. So we get that celery juice going after 15 or 30 minutes. If you guys see here, I got some millet cooking. I got some oatmeal. If you hang around, we're going to make some oatmeal. We're talking about staying away from radical fats, and the book is for free too. So go to the library and get the book for free. So I know every now and then people say, well, he's trying to sell his book. Get the book for free and save a life, save a friend's life, let somebody know about it. Tell your friend they can go to the library and get the book for free, and the cleanse is free. That's important because I know people come on here and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, there's a cleanse? Where do we have to pay? You don't have to. We're doing it. We're doing the Medical Medium Cleanse Challenge. Let's get into it. So after your celery juice, 16 to 32 ounces, okay, we move into, or the lemon water, we move into the celery juice next. So that's the next phase of it. So we run some celery through here is what we do, okay? So if you guys don't have a juicer, use a blender. That's okay. If you don't have a juicer, use a blender. And that's what you do. There's ways of doing things that are different if you need to. If you have an old blender, take your celery, chop it up, throw it into the blender. That's perfectly fine. You can do it, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to run some celery through here. Now, if you're somebody that's sensitive, okay? Somebody that's sensitive, you can do less, 4 ounces, 2 ounces. If you're somebody that's sensitive, do less celery juice, all right? And that's perfectly fine. If you're somebody that's sensitive in this situation where your blood is thick and dirty, you've never cleansed before, you're eating radical fats all the time, you're highly toxic, you got pathogens but don't even know it, you got streptococcus in your intestinal tract, you don't even know it, right? And you got symptoms, conditions, you have no idea what they're from. They're from pathogens and toxins. So if you're somebody that's highly toxic and you're doing the medical medium morning cleanse, you don't have to do 16 to 32 ounces of celery juice. You can start out with 4 ounces. You can start out with 8 ounces. Keep in mind, you haven't had radical fats yet. Kathleen has a question. Can you use powdered celery juice? No, you cannot. I can't tell you what to do. You have your own free will. You can do whatever you want, right? Of course. My recommendation is don't do it. It won't fix you. It doesn't have the ability to fix anybody. It doesn't have that healing ability. It's dehydrated. It's lost what it needs to help heal someone and clean somebody up. Keep that in mind. If you guys just came on here, we're doing the Medical Medium Morning Cleanse Challenge. We're heading into the section of juicing celery. You can do 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces, whatever you would like. You don't have to do 16 to 32 ounces. I prefer 32 ounces. That would be fantastic. Okay? So the reason why some people get benefits from intermittent fasting is because they remove fats in the morning, but they don't know that's why. They actually don't know why they're getting some type of result. It's because they're moving fats out of their morning regime. They're keeping the fats out. And that's why. Okay? So it's important to know. But the problem with intermittent fasting is you will burn your adrenals out with intermittent fasting. Because you have to get trace mineral salts and you have to get sugar in your bloodstream. If anybody's anti-sugar, like anti-glucose, then they're illy misinformed, because what happens is if you don't get glucose to your brain in the morning, you're starving your brain of what it needs. Glucose is why we function. So the critical aspect of intermittent fasting, the critical aspect of it working to some degree, is you keep fats out, but you have to have something in there that actually feeds your brain. So keep that in mind. So when you remove sugar from your morning, you don't eat a piece of fruit. You don't have lemon water, okay? When you remove sugar from your breakfast in the morning and you just intermittent fast, you're now running on adrenaline and caffeine if you're somebody that's intermittent fasting on caffeine, right? These are ways that age you faster and they don't help you cleanse. So right now we're making some celery juice. If you're somebody that's doing the Medical Medium Morning Cleanse Challenge and you had your celery juice already in the morning, hang on, we're still going to do some other stuff, so this is going to be fun. Susie Newton says, can I do celery juice first, then lemon water? Yes. Yes, you can. You can flip it. Go backwards. Go backwards in a good way. I'm actually fine with that. Are you kidding? If I can keep you off of fats until noon and you just want to switch, that off, like boom, celery juice and lemon water, definitely. Let's do it. All right. We got some celery juice going right now. I'm excited about this, okay? So you got to strain your celery juice. You guys on TikTok, if you're ever going to do celery juice, to get the maximum benefits out of this herbal extraction, you have to strain it. Keep that in mind. You want it pure liquid. That's where the gold is at. You guys on Rumble, that's where the gold is at right there. Okay? There you go. Somebody asked me on TikTok just now, what do adrenals do? What do they do? If you're talking, that's because of adrenaline. If you're walking, that's from adrenaline, right? Anything you do, did you take a shower this morning? That's from your adrenals. Your adrenals gave you that blessing. That's why people that they lose their adrenals, they can't get up, they can't shower, okay? Adrenals do all of that for you, right? That's what they do, okay? They make it so you can exercise. They make it so you can play. They make it so you can partake in things that aren't good for you, like alcohol and caffeine and all kinds of stuff, which is terrible for you. But your adrenals allow you to survive through all that and partake in anything, okay? So adrenals do everything for you. We have to protect them. We can't burn them out. The Medical Medium Morning Cleanse Challenge protects your adrenals right there. A big protector of your adrenals. These two little things you see right here, okay? These are your adrenal glands. They're on top of your kidneys. Celery juice is a big part of getting them strong and bringing them back. So you got your celery juice right there, 16 to 32 ounces, okay? Is a big deal right there. What happens is your adrenals are there for fight or flight. They're there when you have a broken relationship. They're there when your boyfriend breaks up with you. They're there for when you go through divorce. They're there when your girlfriend breaks up with you. They're there for when you're in a car accident. They're there when someone texts you and they just start texting you like, you know, some mad texts because, you know, they're upset about something, a family member or a friend, and it gets you jazzed up and now you're shaking like, did they really say that? Did my friend really say that? My friend doesn't understand me. My family member doesn't understand me. That's your adrenals right there. And your body's shaking, right? They're there for you when you're running from a bad person. They're there for you when you're walking down the street in a city and someone pulls the side of you and says, get in the car. You're like, are you crazy? No way. And your adrenals are there for you to get you running and moving. You know, and so your adrenals do everything, right? But we have to protect them. Bottom line. And we abuse them. That's the bottom line. We abuse our adrenals. So there we go. We abuse them because we do a lot of caffeine. We don't eat. That's one way. That's one way to abuse them. But here's the thing, okay? Medical Medium Morning Cleanse Challenge. You just did your lemon water. Now we just did celery juice. I'll bring it out for now, okay? We'll do that, right? You got your celery juice. You got your lemon water right here. Here we are. And now you're free to still eat if you want, but don't have the fats. A lot of new people came on already. Let me give you the rundown. Don't do your almond butter before noon. Don't do your peanut butter before noon. You're not going to cleanse. You're not going to cleanse. It's just not. Don't do your tahini before noon, okay? All right? Don't do chocolate before noon. I mean, I'd prefer you didn't do chocolate at all, but I know I can't stop people from eating chocolate. Don't do it before noon. That's important right there. Don't do other things before noon too. Don't have eggs before noon. I prefer you didn't have eggs at all, but don't have them before noon. No eggs before noon, okay? Keep that in mind. That's important. Okay? Don't have sausage, bacon, ham, turkey. Don't have chicken before noon. Don't have fish before noon. Don't have eggs before noon. I already said that. Don't have butter before noon. All right? So keep that in mind. All of that matters right there. Don't have pizza before noon. You're doing a cleanse. You guys have to know something that's really important. Your liver won't cleanse if you're doing radical fats before noon. Keep that in mind. You want to give your liver some cleansing time. It has a routine. The routine is it's packaging up the junk and garbage in the early morning hours. And it needs help to get rid of all the poison. So you have to make sure you keep the radical fats, all the fats that I'm showing you right here, you got to keep them out of your diet in the morning before noon so your liver can get rid of all the junk and garbage. Critical information, you guys, for healing. Power of Compassion says don't have scrambled eggs. Don't have scrambled eggs before noon. Very important. Very, very important. This is information that's critical, you guys. All right? So you can see all the different options. There's so many recipes you could have before noon. They're in Cleanse to Heal. If you don't have the book, you guys on TikTok, you can go to the library, get it for free. This is a free cleanse right now we're doing. Medical Medium Morning Cleanse Challenge right now. Okay? You can also get it on Amazon, 51% off. Let's make the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie, which is in the book. Now we're going for the gold is what we're doing.